Hello everybody, and welcome back to week 4 of HardWired Movement Method breakdown. We are going to be talking about feet and how to connect ourselves to the ground, how to operate the feet. I'm going to teach you how to put everything from step 1 to step 5 with from the breathing that we went through, the rolling that we've expanded on. We've got that rocking, we did a little bit of work on there as well. We've learned how to operate the bugs and the bridge as well, using the full body and what the benefits are to those. And now we're going to talk about how to create what's called short foot, so that we can connect ourselves to the floor, collect energy from the ground, and then start the process of movement with a good base that we can move more efficiently. So a quick refresher on the feet, you want to make sure you can always find 3 points of contact, that heel pad, the big toe metatarsal pad, and that baby toe metatarsal pad. So you get your 3 points of contact, spreading the toes out long and straight. Once you have those 3 points, toes come down straight, long and straight, just nice and gently on the floor. And then all we're going to do with that short foot is going to be us pressing the toes into the floor, creating the arch of the foot, making sure that we're getting the intrinsics of the foot turned on. And then when we do that, when we do our pressure down to the toes, we engage that pelvic floor, just like we worked on in the lecture at the SAS Fit conference. We went a little bit more into this, but using the same pelvic floor engagement which we were doing with the bugs, with the bridges, everything else to create that structure internally. Now we're connecting our feet to our core and the floor to our pelvic floor. So now we are going to be more stable so that we can start to create better movement, more power, more strength, more speed, everything, more balance. Everything is going to come from that increased stability and increased connection and correlation from the feet to the ground. So that's going to be one thing that we want to make sure that we're always cueing 3 points of contact, pressing the toes to the floor. With that, making sure that we're not peeling that big toe metatarsal off the ground. We don't want to roll out onto the outside of the foot. We want to make sure that we're just engaging the innards of the foot, and we're keeping those 3 points. Those are very important. Now, a question that you might be asking is, how do we put that all together, and how do I teach people to do all these little skills that we've learned on the ground standing up on 2 feet? That is where we're going right now. So I got 2 simple drills that I'm going to take you through that really teach the relationship and the connection of the body. First one is going to be a posture hinge, posture squat, whatever you want to call it. So from here, we're going to get the hands behind the head, fingertips behind the base of the head, thumbs just on the bottom of the chin or the jaw. Now from here, we just want to lengthen the spine, basically make sure the eye line is high, the crown of the head is going towards the ceiling. You don't have to lift yourself up so you're touching the ceiling or anything like that. You just want to get length through the spine. Then from here, elbows come around in front of the shoulders. We want to make sure that we're getting that protraction of the scapula. This is going to be similar to a front squat, if you will, but we're thinking robot arms again. We're thinking bugs here. If we're trying to get our arm out in front of us or support something in front here or hold something here, we need to make sure the shoulder blade is protracted and underneath the lever so we can support it. So we're just making sure that we have ourselves in a strong, structured, engaged position. The next thing, we're going to get ourselves comfortable hip width apart, whatever's comfortable for you, and with your feet, making sure that the toes are always just pointing where they want to point. Never force feet to go straight forward. If the right side's turned out a little bit, let it stay turned out. That's where your hip is set. We want to load and use the foot as it's supposed to be used. We don't have to change its direction to engage it properly. So from here, again, long spine, elbows in front, so the shoulder blade is wrapped around the rib cage. Ribs are down. From here, you're going to imagine you're going to go through your hinge. You're going to stick your sit bones back, trying to find that stretch in the glutes. But once you get to that certain point where your hinge stops, there's going to be a couple different things that you can do. One, you can release and change the engagement of the trunk, which you're going to feel. Or you can bring the hips down, changing the position of the tailbone without changing position of the trunk. So this is a good drill that you can use to teach clients, or to even just fine tune your own movement and teach them how to control the full body or control the hinge using the control systems that we have already built. Now during this action here, once we're all set up, we can start to take this one step further and actually have them operate the short foot, operate the pelvic floor, and the exhale to promote structure on the force exertion. So from here, hands behind the head, lengthen the spine, elbows in front, and the shoulders around the rib cage. 3 points of contact on the feet, toes are long and straight. From here, I stick the sit bones back, find the stretch in the glutes. Once I get to this portion here where there's no more movement, toes push into the floor, create the short foot, pelvic floor engages, exhale, and stand. Stretch, short foot, pelvic floor, exhale, stand. You want to take that even further. You want to incorporate the eyes. Now we can think about the eye positional change. Pick two targets, one that's kind of just above the horizon for you, and the one that's on the base of the wall in front of you, something like that. Same thing, lengthen, elbows in front, 3 points, eyes down, stretch, eyes up, short foot, pelvic floor stand. You get all those systems on, all of a sudden we're driving that hinge, we're driving one of the biggest actions that we're going to do, and probably the most popular action we're going to do through our day-to-day, through sport, through activity, through whatever. We're driving that with the operating systems that we've already been practicing incorporating in the breathing, the rolling, the rocking, the bugs, and the bridges. And now we've tied it all together, and we've taught how to create some structure while moving with the big powerhouse of the body and those glutes. From there, you don't have to keep the hands up here. You can change the hands, you can change where they hold, but your main goal is to try to keep the shoulder blades flush to the rib cage in relation to where the limb needs to be. Just like when we're doing our bridge or our bridges, when the shoulder blades are flush to the floor, they're flush to the rib cage and they're sturdy. So we can do carries, we can squat from here, we can do our pickups from here, and everything stays the same. You can do a goblet squat, elbows in, or holding something in front, but again, make sure the armpits are scooped or the shoulder blades are wrapped, so that when we are moving, we're promoting those good strong positions like we were in that posture hinge. That's going to be a quick way that you can kind of just teach that hinge without getting a broomstick out, without getting any gear. That's how you teach full body tensioning, and that's how you teach people how to use their hips, use their legs, use their breath, use their body to generate movement. This next one here is going to be called robot arms, and now this one, you just need a mini band. It doesn't need to be a really tight band. Even just like a towel that you pull apart is fine. This drill is going to be good for promoting scapular movement. So when we are going into an overhead press, horizontal pull, push, doesn't matter, overhead pull, whatever you can imagine, we are gaining control of the movement of the shoulder blades. When we're trying to keep that relationship between the rib cage and the shoulder blades very sound and solid, so we're going to take the same approach as we did with the hinges. We're going to try to use the entire body to help us make this action better. So from here, you're going to put your band around your hands, or you're going to hold on to a towel. Again, just keep a little tension. Now this band is just that. It's just keep a little tension on it. It doesn't have to be split in half. You just got to keep some tension on it. Now from here, long spine, just like when we're doing our posture squats. We're going to lengthen this crown of the head to the ceiling. Ribs are down. All right, good grip on the ground with the feet. Little tension on the band. From here, we are going to exhale, do our pelvic floor engagement. And as I do that, I'm going to bring my elbows up to my shoulder height, reaching my shoulder or my elbows gently forward away from the shoulder, so we get that protraction of the scapula. Not so much that our elbows start to flare out or we round the back. We're just trying to keep that alignment and keep the shoulder on track. And then from here, you just keep the tension on the hands, squeeze a little, take the muscle right there. We get that little stretch in there behind the shoulder blades, squeeze it, and return the shoulder blades down to their starting position. So this drill here is going to promote scapular movement in correlation with the breath, keeping the rib cage in position and collecting energy from the floor with the short foot, with that pelvic floor engagement, so the trunk is extra solid. And then from there, we can teach overhead movement, we can teach horizontal, we can teach whatever action you need. And realistically, that's all it really is, because the same mechanisms, push and pull, either way, right? So this drill is a very good way to, again, teach the correlation of the shoulder blades and the rib cage, teach the proper shoulder mechanics, show how the whole body does have a job to do, and how the system and the sequence of engagement needs to happen. And this is a very good way that you can prepare your clients to move better, move more efficiently, and even just help rehab from injuries or anything like that. This is purely mechanical, and from there, whatever you want to do, that's what you can make them do. So, hope you enjoyed. Apply some of these to yourself. Again, if you have any questions, throw them in the comment, or throw them in the comments, or you can keep them to yourself, and maybe I'll make another video that helps those out. See you later.